parlay action this week for us, Bobby?
I do. I've got a 4-way touchdown. My 3-way hit last week.
Nice. Shout out, brother. So, good shit. Good shit.
Yeah, my 3-way last week, because I missed the Jefferson. I didn't make it over there in time to get Jefferson into the pick to make it a 4-way, which is a good thing because Jefferson didn't score.
Friends, countrymen, fellow degenerates, welcome back to Bets and Buds. We the Buds helping you cash your bets. I am Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
Welcome back to this week 6 edition of Bets and Buds here, boys. We're going to get this party started here. Before we get jumping into deeper diving into this, we got a little Blues hockey.
Yes, sir.
Bobby's representing his sweater there. His
Let's
Blues
go
sweater.
Blues. So yes, the Blues season kicked off yesterday in Seattle. They were actually the first game of the three-game triple-header.
Weird puck drop time.
It was 3:30.
3 o'clock hour, 3:30.
Yeah, 3:30 Central Time. It was very strange, almost like an old Sunday playoff game.
Yeah,
back
that
in
was
the
real
90s.
weird.
But yes, the Blues did pick up the victory, 3-2. It was not pretty at first. Like that first period, they got outshot 11-7, and then in the second period it was like 17-9. Even though they scored the 3 goals, they were definitely outworked for the first half of that game.
Good goaltending and held it up, I guess.
Oh, Bennington was on fire.
Really nice.
He stopped 30 of 32 shots. Your new guys pitched in. Broberg, your new defenseman, he scored a goal.
Nice.
Kyrou scored twice. Obviously, you're going to need Kyrou to score. Holloway chipped in with an assist. Teixeira chipped in with an assist. Yeah, they definitely got to clean some things up on the defensive end, but that was always going to be their problem. Defense, again, this year is going to be the issue because it's pretty much outside of Sutter and Kessel. It's the same cast coming back. So, well, Broberg and Subtle, but everybody else is the same. Falk had 2 assists last night, so he looked really good. So, they start off they got the Sharks tomorrow night. So, I mean, Sharks are not going to be good, but even though we struggled with the Sharks last year, I don't think
they lost a lot of games to teams they shouldn't have lost to last night.
That's
they
right.
lost to the Columbus Blue Jackets twice last year.
Yeah, it was bad. It sunk their playoff chances last year because I think they went 0-5 against those teams.
Those teams they should have beat and had to beat.
So, yeah, they kick off against the Sharks again tomorrow night, and then they play the Knights over the weekend before coming home to start their season in St. Louis on Tuesday against the Wild.
But shout out to Bashard Owens becoming the full-time Blues national anthem singer.
He will be doing his first regular season anthem.
Yes, for the whole season long. Yep. Shout out to Bashard.
That is awesome. I'm proud of him.
Love you, Percy. Shout out to you, brother. All right.
So that's all I got for the Blues. I guess first game of the season, we got a long
81 more to go.
Yeah, a long way to go.
81 more to go.
But I like the Blues' chances.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're going to be good. I think
they will battle for a playoff
They should be a playoff team this year. I'd be shocked if they're not. All right, so we're going to jump into this football schedule. This book has been kicking my ass. It's been kicking the public's ass on a regular basis so far. I mean, man, these games, the parity's been up in the league right now. I mean, like probably higher than I've ever seen it. I mean,
it's surprising. You figure for the 14 games last week, 7 road teams won.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I want to say they said all the teams that were plus 7.5 or higher, or plus 7 and higher, were like 7-1 against the spread or something crazy like that. So, and then I want to say it was like 6-2 straight up, if not better than that. Okay. I mean, it's been crazy season. We got some big upsets. So speaking of big upsets, we're going to start off with the 49ers and the Seahawks.
Both of these teams choked away.
Yeah, both teams last week choked away. The 49ers lost their kicker, Jake Moody, hurt himself trying to make a tackle on the play, got a high ankle sprain. Pretty much that ended their chances losing by 2 against the Cardinals.
That pretty much sunk.
Yeah, that sunk their battleship right there. I mean, they were done. And the Seahawks lost a big one against the Giants. It was potentially going to go to overtime.
Had the chance to
tie game to go up to send it to overtime. Isaiah Simmons jumps over the fucking play.
He did. Now, that should have been a penalty, should it not?
No, it doesn't because he didn't make any contact.
Oh, there was no push off.
Yeah, as long as if you could jump through that gap, and make it that's the old Jamie Collins play that the Patriots used to use with him blocking field goals. And what's crazy is when you think about that, like. I mean, and I know that's a tough position because you're pretty much catching for survival on that block. Right. I mean, that's a survival block that you're doing on that play. But, I mean, when you're sitting there making that play, when a guy like Isaiah Simmons lines up, what do you think? He's not going to bull rush you? I mean, so what the fuck do you think he's about to go do in the middle right there? But, again, that's either here nor there. That's why they're pro athletes and any given Sunday, baby. Sunday. So this game's in Seattle. It's our Thursday night kickoff on Amazon. So, like, who do you like in this one, Bobby?
Actually, this is one of those games I was really torn about when I was writing this one down. Seattle's getting 3.5 points at home. Mm-hmm. The over-under's at 49, and San Francisco's favored. I actually do like San Francisco to go in and win this game. Mm-hmm. I'd like it under 49, but give me Seattle to cover that 3.5 points. I think this is going to be a field goal.
All right, so we were in total agreement in this game so far. I have it at 3.5. Obviously, I like the Niners to win this game, but also I like the over in this one. And like I told you, like we talked about earlier. So I have a website that I use as a kind of resource each week, and for the first time this season, after things have kind of been so topsy turvy, I have bet against the public pretty much throughout the outside of 2 games. I bet against the public. And basically, when I say betting against the public, when the public has 70% of the bets are higher, usually 65% is where I start to look at. They have the bets are higher going in that range. Right. You're looking at the amateur bets, people that necessarily don't play the game but want to gamble on football on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. They're going to go. So I'm kind of going against that curve. Okay. So I like the over in this game. I had it at 48.5.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the over at 48.5. All right, so the next up we got the Jaguars at the Bears.
This was another one that I was really torn about.
It's another London game, too, early kickoff.
Yeah, which Jaguars team's going to show up? Is it the team that, really, I know it was against Indianapolis last week, but, actually showed they can move the ball a little bit. Chicago's defense is pretty good, though.
Chicago's defense is pretty good. The offense looked good last week. Caleb Williams looked like he had a good performance, but it was against the Panthers. So,
It was. But I do like Chicago to cover this 2 points. I have 2 points. They're giving up. I have it at 44. Give me the over and Chicago to win on the money line.
Okay, so again, this is where I was going against the public. I think 77% of the public was on the Bears in this game here. So actually, I like I'm going for the Jaguars to go for this one. It's a London game.
It is.
So this is almost like a home game for the Jaguars. They're there every year. They go to London at least once. They're pretty much since they've started this London trip here, they've gone at least once. So I got the Jags' favorite. Dogs at 1.5. Yep. So I like them to cover that and win it outright. And I have the under at 44.5 through FanDuel. Okay. And I like the under in this game.
All right.
Yep, I like the under in this one. All right, so this one might be the game of the week. This is potentially the game of the week here. The Commanders at the Ravens.
Yes.
Ravens.
This is going to be a good one.
Yeah, this is going to be a tight game. The Ravens look like they're rolling right now. This game's in Baltimore. Commanders, the offense has been looking very, very proficient.
Now, the thing is, the Commanders have the second worst rush defense in the NFL right now, giving up 5.7 yards a carry. So it's really bad. With that being said, I do like Baltimore to win this game at home. Give me the over at 51.5. But give me Washington to cover the 6.5 points.
Yeah, you like Washington to cover. So again, I went against the public. Another one against a lot of the public like Washington to cover too as well. So I actually like the Ravens to win this game and cover. Right. And I like the under at 51.5. 51.5 through FanDuel. All right, so that's going to be a tight game, though. I think that's going to be very exciting.
It's possible that they just blow them out of the water.
Because also when you look at it, look at the way the Bengals passed the ball against the Ravens last week. The Ravens' pass defense is not good. They don't get a good pass rush. The secondary doesn't stop big pass plays down the field. So, and the Commanders have shown big plays down the field are very open in their repertoire. Yep. So it's going to be kind of strength versus strength and weakness versus weakness. So like I said, again, the Ravens to go ahead and cover that one and get the win. All right, next up we got the Buccaneers at the Saints. Now, this is
potentially Carr could be out. He's questionable right now with that oblique. They've got him as questionable.
Yeah, what I heard today, they actually named Spencer Rattler the starter.
Oh, did they? Not the Hearn kid?
No, not the Hearn. Which the Herner, whatever it is. The kid when he came in, a couple throws looked really, really good too. But they're going.
Well, that makes me feel better about my picks, anyways. Give me Tampa to cover this 3.5 to win, and I like the over. I have 41.5.
Okay. All right. So again, Spencer Rattler has gone through a lot of adversity here. Mm-hmm. He was actually the starting quarterback in Oklahoma coming out. He was one of the top quarterbacks coming out of high school, out of the Arizona area, I believe. And he got his job taken from him by Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick in this draft. And so so for me, I always tell people when I look at quarterbacks, one thing that I like about quarterbacks is when they've kind of gone through some adversity early in their career. You look at Baker Mayfield, who started out at Texas Tech as a walk-in, had to transfer, then went to Oklahoma. And ended up winning the Heisman going there.
And then going to Cleveland.
And then going to Cleveland and going to that adversity there. And you see him being able to persevere because NFL and the hardest position probably in all of sports, in my opinion, is quarterback. Because in the National Football League, because you have to be able to process so much information, you have to be able to handle these rush of these freak athletes coming at you, and so when you're not used to, look at Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has had very little adversity in his career, and you see the struggle that he's had. He's had some moderate success, but there's some struggle that's been there because when you don't have that adversity, it's kind of hard to come out and say, all right, I'm going to walk through the NFL and make this my day. So I actually like the Saints to cover the 3.5 points. I do like the Bucs to win the game, but I like the Saints to cover the 3.5 points and maybe come and do a last-second field goal there. And I like the under at 41.5. Yes, I like the under at 41.5, which I need to do something with this over-under this week. That's one of the reasons why I did it. I'm like 46% in the over-under this year. Yeah, no,
I'm not doing real well.
It has been brutal. It has been absolutely brutal. It's been, like I said, but that's what makes the National Football League fun.
Okay, so you got the Saints covering in the under.
Yes.
But you like the Bucs.
But I like the Bucs to win this one, yes. All right, so the next up, we got the Browns at the Eagles, the lowly Browns versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to ride this Deshaun Watson train until it sinks completely.
They are. The Eagles definitely win this one at home. I like the over at 42.5, but give me the Browns to cover that 9 points.
Yes, I like the Browns to cover. It was at 8.5 as of yesterday. It's at 9 points today. I like the Browns to cover the 9 points. I don't know how they're going to do it. But
I'm not sure, but I think they'll cover that.
Somehow, some way, they're going to play them a little bit tougher than
the Eagles have been playing down, too.
Yeah, the Eagles have been playing down. They're coming off a bye this week, but I can see them still pulling off this victory. 48.5 points. Is the over-under I got for the do FanDuel.
Really? 48?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, not 48. 42.5. Yeah, I got my highlighter smudged the shit a little bit. So yeah,
okay. I've got 42.5.
42.5. I like the under.
Okay.
I like the under in this game. I kind of see this being an ugly play game. I mean, the pressure is on with Nick Sirianni up there.
It is.
You know, and again, I called it earlier with this season. I just don't know how Jalen Hurts is going to operate in the Kellen Moore offense. Kellen Moore is not going to do the things that Jalen Hurts feels strong with.
Right.
And, I mean, I just felt like that was a bad hire for the quarterback that you had on that team. So I kind of see how that goes, but, I mean, I think it's
they need a win, that's for sure.
Yeah, they need a win. Browns need a win, but I don't see it happening. I mean, they're kind of, you know.
That season's over.
Them and Carolina are probably going to battle for the worst teams in football this year. All right, so next up we got the Colts at the Titans. Colts and the Titans, a division game here.
Division game, Titans coming off their bye. Colts put up a lot of points last week, but Richardson's probably coming back to start this game.
They haven't announced a starter yet. I mean, again, I kind of see that happening. I can see if they do it, I think that's going to be a big mistake on their part. I like Tennessee actually to go in at home. They're actually 1-point dogs. I like them to win this game at home. And the cover. As long as I don't get anything stupid by Will Levis. I can't remember if they had Mason Rudolph because they're coming off their bye too as well. Right. So I don't know if Mason Rudolph's going to be getting those snaps there. But as of right now, I think it's Will Levis. I haven't heard anything on the contrary.
I haven't heard anything different.
But I like the Titans to win this game outright and cover that 1-point dog. And I like the under at 43.
Okay. We agree on the under, but I think the Colts can still go in and beat Tennessee. If Will Levis starts that game, well, forget about it.
But I can see Mason Rudolph getting in it very quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if he had some first team reps.
Okay.
If you really want to look at, if I was able to deep dive in there a little bit more and see practice wise, or follow any of their beat writers that follow that team, I wouldn't be surprised if you had a lot of Mason Rudolph first. They might even split the reps of practice wise with having that bye this past week. All right, so next up we got the Texans at the Patriots. The Patriots have just announced that Drake
May will be their starting quarterback.
He's going to make his starting debut. He's making his starting debut.
Okay, so here's the thing. That offensive line for the Patriots is terrible. They're giving up pressure on 47% of all dropbacks right now.
This is only the second time of the season that the same 5 starters will be in the lineup this week, though. So
okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
Okay, so it could potentially be better.
Yes.
But I still like Houston to get it done. Going to New England, cover that 7, over 38, and Houston to win.
We're in total agreement on that.
Okay, we're agreeing.
Yep, that's our first one on total agreement. So no need to put any more attention on that. I mean, I'm with you on that. Houston looks like
it could get real ugly.
Yeah, I mean, because I just don't see how the Patriots can keep up scoring wise with them. Nothing seems like they've shown in offense unless Drake May comes in and lights the world on fire. Yeah. But again, these rookie quarterbacks, sometimes it takes a couple games. You saw with Caleb Williams, he looked terrible the first couple starts. Now he's kind of seeming to find his footing now. So. All right, next up we got the Cardinals at the Packers.
Yeah, this is
Packers
another
pulled out
one.
a tough one last week.
They did, and the Cardinals, pulled out one last.
Upset against the Niners.
Upset against the Niners.
I told you at the beginning of the season they're going to be my cover, my secret cover.
Yeah.
All season long.
Yeah, they covered last week for me.
They covered pretty much all season. All season.
So I like them to cover again. I've got 5 points.
Yeah, so I got them at 5.5. I like them to cover 2 as well. I think the Packers are going to pull out the victory at home.
I do like the Packers to win,
but I do like the Cardinals to cover. And I have a 47.5 is what I got as the over-under. Is that what you got?
I like the over-under.
Yeah, I do too. So,
so that's 2 in a row.
Yep, so 2 in a row. We're in agreement on that one. All right, next up we got the Chargers at the Broncos. All right, who do you like in this one, Bobby?
Oh, this is another one of those games where because the Chargers are coming off the bye, so they've had 2 weeks to prepare for Denver. But, man, Denver has looked really – that defense is legit in the last 3 weeks.
That defense is tough.
That defense is legit.
It was surprisingly tough. I didn't expect them to be as tough as they were. But, man, I mean, that front seven is, like, getting pressure. I mean, it's going to be a tough one.
So, with Denver being at home, I mean, this is one of those toss-up games to me. Mm-hmm. Because the first time I filled out my sheet this morning, I had Chargers circled. Right. And then I thought, so I ended up coin flipping, and Denver's where it landed at.
Well, they're 3-point dogs at home. 3-point dogs at home.
Yeah, they are 3-point dogs, so give me that 3 points. I like the over 35.5.
Okay, that's what I got
Denver
at
to
too.
win.
That's what I got at too as well. So for me, all right, so this is one of those again, because my philosophy and my strategy this week was going against the public. Right. I think the public was at about like 72%, 73% towards the Broncos. Okay. Yeah, being 3-point dogs at home. I like the Chargers actually to go in here, cover the 3 points because they're actually 3-point favorites. Right. Pull off the win because they're coming off the bye. I like Harbaugh having 2 weeks to prepare against a Bo Nix team, a rookie quarterback.
Herbert's had 2 weeks.
Yes, he has 2 weeks to heal too as well. Let's see, you have Rashawn Slater's coming back, and then also what's his name, Joe Alt. Both tackles that were both out and hurt. I can see if those guys are able to get back and be a little bit more healthy. I like the over at 35.5 too.
We agree on the over.
Yeah, so we agree on the over there. All right, next up we got a battle of the classic teams here.
Yes.
The Steelers at the Raiders. The Steelers lost a tough game. I think they're still going with Justin Fields. I think they're going to ride with them one more time.
That's what I've heard so far. I mean, that was a tough. As much as I hate to see I don't want to see Dallas lose, but that was a heartbreaker for Steelers. Oh,
yeah, that was.
Fourth and 1, last play of the game.
You have 3 turnovers, 2 of them in the red zone.
Right.
And you blocked a field goal, too. On top of that, you still lost the game. I mean, that's a brutal one. The Raiders
at home on top of it.
Exactly. And the Raiders are team term. That delay, I mean, it was like an hour and a half delay, so that might have caused a little bit of issue there. The Raiders are kind of team turmoil right now this season.
Yes, they are.
But again, they're 3-point dogs at home. Mm-hmm. I actually give me the Raiders as 3-point dogs to cover that and actually win this game outright. Okay. I think Aiden O'Connell is going to come out. I mean, he got a lot of tick last year the field, so I mean, it's not like he's going to be like shell shocked going into this. So I actually like the Raiders to go in and win this game at home. There's going to probably be a shit ton of Steelers fans in Reliance Stadium or Allegiant Stadium, I think is what it is out there. And then I like the over at 36.5.
I like the over as well, but I like Pittsburgh to go into Vegas and take this one.
All right. I mean, I can see it happen, but I can also see them lose this and then start calling for Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, no, they could definitely happen. That could definitely because you're back at 3-3 then, and then you're.
Yep, and then time to go, all right, we got to do something now because the Ravens
especially after a 3-0 start.
Right, exactly. All right, so the next up here, we got the Falcons at the Panthers. Who do you like in this one, Bobby?
I like the Falcons to go down to Carolina and get the win here, but I like Carolina to keep this one close. So give me that 6 points for Carolina. I say they cover this one, and I like the under 47.
So this is one that I kind of rode with the public on. There were 2 games, the Patriots game against the Texans, and then this one right here were the 2 games that I didn't stick with that philosophy. Okay. And so I actually like the Falcons to go in and cover this 6 points. Because it was 6.5, and then they dropped to 6. And I like them, obviously, money line to win that one outright. And I like the over at 47.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the over at 47. Not by anything the Panthers do.
Just fucking Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I mean, well, Andy Dalton's Andy Dalton. He was only going to give you so much at this stage.
Yeah, he came back and Cinderella shoes fell off last week.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what you would kind of expect to have happen. All right, so the next up we got the Lions at the Cowboys. Rematch from last year. Tough, controversial win by the Cowboys with the touchdown with what's the kid's name? Skipper or whatever they reported as eligible. And they didn't.
He was ineligible.
Yeah, they reported him as eligible, but they had too many guys. They tried to do a little trickery, and the ref kind of called it back. Said he didn't declare properly. So the Cowboys ended up pulling that game out, getting the home playoff game. This one's in Dallas here. The Lions and Cowboys. Cowboys are 3-point dogs at home. Who do you got?
I know that's a tough one. So to keep in theme with the season, when I go against Dallas, they win.
Yeah.
So I went against Dallas again this week. because they need to get a win at home. Obviously, you can't start out the season 0-3 at home,
and they got to keep tracking keep pace with the Commanders.
Yeah, and you got to keep pace with the Commanders too. But that being said, I did pick Detroit to go in and beat Dallas. I mean, that Dallas defense is just decimated right now.
It is. I mean,
I just don't know that they'll have enough to stop Detroit.
They had a valiant effort last week for all the bodies they had down. So
the only reason Pittsburgh does Pittsburgh just can't run the ball right now.
And they're missing Jaylen Warren. Pittsburgh's missing that explosivity because Najee Harris is a tough big back,
but he's slow.
He's slow as hell. He's got somebody described him as running like somebody trying to run in a pair of wet jeans. I mean,
but I like the under in this one still.
Okay, you like the under in this one?
I got it at 52.
All right, so I like the Cowboys to go in and cover this game.
Okay,
I got them at 3-point dogs. Yep. I like the Lions to win. I don't know how it's going to be. Maybe something tight, 2-point conversion because Dan Campbell, he likes to go ahead and he likes to take chances a lot. I can see him going for 2 with a chance of driving down. Maybe they got a chance to kick the extra point to win the game.
Get the 2 possession lead. No, I'll go for it.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I think the Lions will actually kind of somehow pull this victory off. I don't hope to see that, but I kind of see that kind of going that way.
Right.
I like the over at 52
points.
Okay,
you like the over?
Yeah, I like the over at 52 points here. Because I can see a big bounce back game from CeeDee Lamb this week. Big bounce back game. Anybody out there looking that does any prop betting, look for CeeDee Lamb to light it up this week. Terrion Arnold and then other corners have shown any type of prolific pass coverage in order to slow down CeeDee Lamb. And there was a little bit of frustration last week against that Steelers defense between Dak and CD. So I can see them bounce back to have a nice performance. All right. So then we got the Bengals at the Giants, a Sunday night game.
Yeah, this was another one that I really like. Which Giants team's going to show up?
Yeah.
Is it the ones
and is Malik Neighbors still out?
That one is still questionable. He was still questionable.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that one, if he's going to play or not. But the Bengals defense hasn't shown they can stop anybody whatsoever. I think they had the kid Tracy Taylor came in, the Giants did last week at running back to spell Devin Singletary from being injured. He looked really good. The offensive line was blocking for him really well. So, I mean, the Giants are 3.5-point dogs at home. I actually like the Giants to cover this game at Sunday night, but I do like the Bengals to pull this one out and get a win.
Okay.
Yeah, whether it be by with 3.5, I can see a field goal at the end of the game. Evan McPherson getting a bounce back from that bad hold that they had last week.
That was
because that's pretty much what cost them the game.
Cost them that game.
And that's why I tell people all the time, when you watch football, that's why it's the ultimate team game. I mean, it's a 3-phase game: offense, defense, special teams.
It was bad snap.
Bad snap because the snap was behind him, then he couldn't get it down. I mean, he still got the kick.
Yeah, he almost got it down.
And shout out to professional fucking kickers that he's still I mean, it wasn't like the horrible, he didn't shoot it to the stands. I mean, it just went wide right because of the hole. I mean, so I like the Bengals, I said, to win this one, and I like the over at 48.5.
You like the over? Okay.
Yeah, so I like the over at 48.5 because, I mean, the Bengals defense has not shown me anything to say they can slow down anybody offensively.
It's not. It's that late Sunday night game. Give me the under in this one.
You like the under?
Yeah, I like the under in this one.
All right, so next up, which the news we hadn't brought up today of Robert Saleh was fired yesterday. Was fired by the Jets yesterday. And the Jets had a 2-3, lost a tough one against the Vikings last week.
They said he escorted them off the property.
Yeah, they escorted him off. Security didn't get to say goodbye or any parting words to the team. They just kind of escorted him out, said, all right, your time here is done. He said he's on vacation. He's going to kind of chill, relax, do his thing.
He'll have a job.
Oh, yeah, he'll have a job. I mean, there's teams that are going to be clamoring for him to be a defensive coordinator. I mean, because that's where he can actually let loose, man. There's a big difference between a coordinator and being a head coach. And some people can't do that. And one of the things I was concerned about when I saw Robert Saleh was when they had the Hard Knocks. And he gave this speech during the team about the crow and the eagle and all this other stuff. But he was reading that shit. No. He was fucking reading that shit. I mean, and to me, so that's a hard thing. Because people don't understand, a lot of times, we don't ever do a script on this. We don't even do a prep meeting before we get started. So to be able to go and have a presentation in front of your football team and all these type A personalities, and you got to read your motivational speech in a meeting room that you knew that you were going to have, that's a bad look. And so that shows me he's not comfortable in his skin enough to be the head coach. But as far as being a coordinator, yes, I can see him get back there. But back to the game, this one's in New York.
In New York,
or
Monday
Jersey,
Night
basically,
Football. Yeah. You've got. Do you get that coach bump up magic? I mean, does Rodgers looks pretty beat up? The team looked pretty dejected last week.
But they got the guys with Scott Ubrick, I think is his name, who's going to be basically the interim coach for the season. Mm-hmm. There might be a change with Nathaniel Hackett not being the play caller going into this week. So I mean, I've heard whispers there. I like the first game coming off with the interim coach. That just when you look at the record, through the history of that, that's kind of a big bump.
Buffalo's beat up right now.
And Buffalo's beat the hell. I'm not sure.
Josh Allen, he was knocked out in that game.
Yes, he was knocked out. Yes, he was not. Everybody knows he was knocked
out.
Yeah, we all had eyes. He was knocked the fuck out, and he only had 9 completions in that game, that was also
9 for 30.
That was also a very horribly managed game by Josh McDermott?
Yeah.
I mean that was a horribly because they were backed up in their Sean McDermott. Yeah. They were backed up in their own end zone. He threw 3 straight passes with 40 seconds left in the game. Ran off 19 seconds off the clock
with a concussed quarterback.
Yeah, with a concussed quarterback. I mean, so how healthy is Josh Allen going to be this week? As far as with that concussion.
James Cook's got toe issue going on right now.
So yeah, I mean even more so beat up. So I like the Jets to cover these 2.5 points at home.
Yep.
Get the win. Get it because this will actually be for first place. Because
yes, it will.
They'll both be 3-3 and be at the top of the division. That division's going to be wide open.
I like the over in this one.
You like the over in this one? See, I like the under in this one. Yeah, the under was at 40.5. I kind of see it being an ugly, grimy game. I can see the Jets doing just enough offensively, but not doing enough to where they say, what, we still got to go get Devontae Adams. Because at some point, they have to make that trade if they have any aspirations of getting to the Super Bowl, because they can't throw the ball to Garrett Wilson 22 times every game.
And Lazard cannot be your number 2.
Yes, and he cannot be your number 2. He absolutely cannot be your number 2. And they got to get that running game going. There's got to be some. But again, the Bills are a very undersized team, so they can be easily ran on. They take a lot of bad pursuit angles. I was rewatched that game a little bit last week. And Damar Hamlin, he actually had he's got the starting safety. Shout out to him coming back from being dead on the field and getting back in there, still being in the NFL. But I'm watching him take a couple very bad pursuit angles, and then once that back gets past him, or
he doesn't have
the wheels. He does not have the wheels at all. So I mean, so again, I like the Jets to go ahead and pull this one out on Monday night.
Okay.
All right, so you got any parlay action this week for us, Bobby?
I do. I've got a 4-way touchdown. My 3-way hit last week.
Nice. Shout out, brother. Good shit. Good shit.
My 3-way last week, because I missed the Jefferson. I didn't make it over there in time to get Jefferson into the pick to make it a 4-way, which is a good thing because Jefferson didn't score. So I made it a 3-way. It ended up being Robinson Jr., Chase, and Pittman Jr. Boom.
Nice. Good
so
shit.
This week, give me Austin Eckler, because I think that Washington-Baltimore game is going to be a shootout. Eckler catches one out of the backfield, takes it to the house. Give me T. Higgins for Cincinnati. I like St. Brown to score for Detroit against Dallas. And then give me Derrick Henry to put one in against Washington, just because their rush defense is so terrible.
It is terrible. And Derrick
Henry's
up
plus 2,074.
Nice. I like that. That's a good one. All right, so I got one for the Thursday night game for us here, and I'm in desperate need of a victory here. I'm in desperate fucking need of a victory. But we're going to go. I got Kenneth Walker with over rushing 56.5 yards. DK Metcalf over 66.5 yards receiving. Juwan Jennings at 28.5 yards over on his receiving. Juwan Jennings also over 2.5 receptions. George Kittle anytime touchdown. DK Metcalf anytime touchdown. That's a 6-leg parlay. That's a lot of action and juice going on, but that's plus 28.99.
All right.
Plays plus 28.99. So that one right there will get me back in action, baby.
The only thing I'd be worried about that one, because Kittle is questionable this week.
Kittle is questionable? Yep. Okay, but he was questionable last week too as well.
Okay.
Yeah, because he had that hamstring. So pretty much every week he's listed as questionable, but he's a dog. He's going to get out there on the field and go play, because I said he's on my fantasy squad. So he was questionable last week too as well. So as long as I don't see anything, and I'll check that before I actually put that bet in. But I'll make sure that. But I think I kind of like Kittle getting that little red zone touch there against the Seahawks. All right.
Okay, so this week we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different.
Nine different picks. All right. Then we got Director Dave's dumbass pick of the week, which he was close. He was close to the one last week. So we got Deebo Samuel, Tank Dell, Lamar Jackson, Devontae Smith, Jaden Reed, Jahmyr Gibbs, plus 13,490, 6-leg anytime touchdown parlay, baby.
I like the Tank Dell one.
Yeah, because he's due. They got to get him back involved, especially with Nico Collins going down this week. Because Nico Collins went out with the
he went on to injured reserve.
Yeah, with the hamstring. So that must have been a bad hamstring pull. That was a big ass long. That was a long run.
Yes, it was.
All right, so. Yeah, make sure you guys keep tuning in. Appreciate you guys keep following along and riding with us. We're gonna make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Add to the comment section. Shout out to Director Dave, keeping us up on the 1s and 2s. True on the track, blessing us with those beats. I'm Jason Smoking Token.
I'm Bobby Light.
We'll see you next week.
Peace.